Hey guys, today we are diving into everything you need to know about Chisa, insane upcoming 5-star resonator in version 2.8. So in this video, we are breaking down her full pre-release build, like her kit, weapons, echo sets, and top team comps, all in one place, and it's totally spoiler free. So if you are saving your asteroids or planning your team before the patch, you are in the right place. Let's jump straight in. Now, who exactly is Chisa? Chisa is a 5-star Havoc Broadblade user and one of the new playable characters arriving in 2.8 update. Visually, she reminds me of Akame from Akame ga Kill. But instead of a sword, she wields a gigantic scissor that can transform into a chainsaw-like weapon. If we talk about her gameplay, Chisa isn't your typical main DPS. She is more of a support sub-DPS hybrid, focusing on negative stats effect, DOT, and something called Havoc Bane, which amplifies her team damage while offering a bit of a sustain. Let's talk about her abilities, and yeah, these are still pre-release leaks, so keep that in mind. Her normal attack is a 2-part combo with a special chained finisher, Scissor of Severance, that deals Havoc damage and slightly heals the team. Her resonance skill applies Havoc Bane to the enemies, and in some situations she can temporarily transform her weapon into a chainsaw, ramping up her hit rate and causing DOT effects. Then there's her Resonance Liberation, a massive Havoc burst that can heal allies and boost team damage if enemies have Havoc Bane stacks. And her passive that pushes her DOT potential even further, extending debuff's duration and granting team buffs when Havoc Bane is active. Overall, she is perfect for DOT heavy teams that love stacking debuffs and watching enemies melt slowly. So now let's talk about how to build her. For her weapon, the signature Thread Saver is obviously the best pick. It has around 500 base attack and a massive 36% crit rate, and its passive boosts resonance liberation damage after inflicting negative stats. If you are not going for her signature, here are some alternatives. For 5-star options, you can go with Aegis of Harvest or Lustrous Razor. And for the 4 stars, Autumn Trace and Orth Zenith can work too. Now for the echo sets, there should be a new 5-piece set in 2.8 tailored made for Chisa, which revolves around Havoc Bane mechanics and boost attack percent and liberation damage. As for the alternative, Midnight Veil or Havoc Eclipse could also work. Now for the substats, you should focus on crit rate, crit damage and attack percent, and a little bit of energy regain if you need smoother rotations. Alright, so let's talk about her best team comps. Looking at where DOT meta is heading, especially with Rover, it's already confirmed we will see new teams and characters tied to Havoc Bane or DOT scaling. And that's exactly where Chisa steps up. She is stepping up to be a resonator who inflicts Havoc Bane on enemies while buffing the entire team. If leaks are right and she buffs general damage, she could fit into almost any team, but especially the DOT focused ones. Now here it gets really massive. Leaks are going around about Geshu as a potential Havoc Bane DPS. Imagine pairing him with Chisa for crazy synergy. Chisa's ability can tag enemies with Bane during his attack, amplifying his damage output significantly on marked enemies. If Geshu really drops somewhere in 3.x, this could be the ultimate Havoc duo, but take it with a grain of salt. These are early leaks after all. She can even push the limits of how many debuffs enemies can handle, which would be insane for setups like Aero Erosion and Spectro Fragile teams. For example, the Aero Erosion comp, Cartethia, Chacona and Aero Rover is already strong enough. But if Chisa replaces Rover and amplifies everyone's output, that could be a massive upgrade. And for other DOT squads like Zani, Phoebe and Chisa, she could easily be the centerpiece. Chisa boosts DOT damage and amplifies debuffs on enemies, making those her premium team comps early on. So yeah, Chisa stepping up to be the next core support for DOT teams. And she is versatile enough to fit on plenty of team comps down the line. Now the big question, is Chisa really worth your asteroids? If you like DOT focused teams or want a sub DPS who can also keep your squad alive, then Chisa looking really strong, and of course future teams are going to revolve around her. If you are saving up your pulls as an F2P, don't go for the signature. It's great but not a must unless you really want it. Current leaks suggest Phase 1 has Chisa plus Phoebe, and Phase 2 brings back Florova plus Cantarella and a new 4-star bowling. So yeah, plan your asteroids carefully. The patch still about 2 weeks away, so there's plenty time to pre-farm. For her Ascension Materials, you will need 46 abyssal hulls, those dropped by the Lady of the Sea boss. Her local specialty called Summer Flower. But since it's new in 2.8, we will need to wait for the update to grab it. For talent, you will need 26 Iris Bloom materials dropped by Floodlee's weekly boss. You will also need plenty of Howler cores from the overworld enemies. And of course a ton of shell credits on top of that. You can check the full farming routes in the description if you want to get a head start. So yeah, that's pretty much everything we have got on Chisa right now. Her abilities, builds and team comps before release. Once 2.8 goes live, I will drop a full pull or skip video and real build test. So hit that like button, subscribe if you found this helpful and drop a comment what team are you building for Chisa. Thanks a lot for watching till end, keep saving those asteroids and I will see you in the next one.